Greetings, brothers and sisters. What is up? Welcome back to yet another one from us. It seems like Africa will forever be colonized, because what we are seeing right now, there's this video that I'm going to play for you guys to listen to and just understand how this continued colonization always comes back with new strategies. Right now, we are seeing a new form of tax collection to fellow Africans using the United Nations, using the IMF and the World Bank and all these institutions that are not to serve our interest. They are making African leaders to bow to them, or else face sanctions, or else face something that they are not ready for as a country. So let us just listen to him, and then I'll come back with my commentary.
The UN has been sending Western tax collectors to Africa to force the continent to pay their foreign debts, and this organization is called Tax Inspectors Without Borders. And if you think this isn't real, here is their website. They are implementing sales tax, minimum tax rates, taking African businesses to court for tax evasion, and they are bragging about the billions they collect from the continent. What the UN does is they send forensic tax auditors from the West to African nations to close loopholes, audit businesses, and implement tax laws that extract as much money as possible from the local population in order to pay back IMF and World Bank loans. And they are very good at what they do. Tunisia was one of the first countries to work with the UN tax collectors in 2015. And since then, the Tunisian government has increased tax revenue over 50% relative to GDP. Recently, you've probably seen different tax reform laws in West Africa, Kenya, among others, and all were pretty unpopular, but they were implemented with a carrot and stick methodology. If the African leaders don't work with the Western tax collectors, they face sanctions. But if they play nice with the tax collectors, they get more loans from the IMF. And you've probably figured out this game already. The West is getting the African nations to run up large debts, then training the African governments to collect the interest payments from the local population, and that money then goes to Western banks. And in many African countries, over 70% of the government revenue goes towards debt servicing. So it's essentially a much more efficient form of colonialism. But I want to know what you guys think. Have you seen unpopular tax reforms in your country? Have they increased your cost of living, or have they had a positive impact?
So they are calling themselves tax collectors without borders. I just want to read for you guys what they claim they are doing. Tax Inspectors Without Borders, TIWP, connects global tax experts to strengthen local expertise and solve real tax challenges for developing country tax administrators. TIWP is a joint initiative of the Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development, OECD, and the United Nations Development Programme, supporting developing countries in building tax audit and investigation capacity. Through its technical assistance programs, TIWP complements the broader efforts of the international community to strengthen cooperation on tax matters and contribute to the domestic resource mobilization efforts of developing countries. TIWP programs in African jurisdictions are delivered jointly with the African Tax Administration Forum, ATAF, which is TIWP strategy partner on the continent. Brothers and sisters, we have a bigger problem here, and I don't know when and where and how Africa will get out of this, because if you look at the rules that comes with this TIWP and the way they are bullying our leaders to comply or else face sanctions or else find themselves not having IMF and World Bank loans, it is so disappointing, because what we have realized in African countries, in most of them right now, is that there's been a huge change in all the taxes. They are now taxing bread. Recently in Southern Africa, there's a country that just announced that bread is going to go up by 7%. They are taxing each and everything, sanitary pads, everything is being taxed. The normal person on the ground cannot even afford bread nowadays, because they are trying to please the IMF and the World Bank through this TIWP, the Tax Inspectors Without Borders. These people are like spying into every financial decision that we are doing, every way that money comes in and out of our countries. And what they are doing right now is that they are boasting for collecting such and such billions for the IMF and making so much money from sucking African countries. How do we solve this thing if we do not have good leaders who will serve the interest of the people, not these IMFs and World Banks? This is a new strategy to make sure that we are forever indebted. And you see, it's UNDP, UN Development Program, that is in partnership with this OECD. What does UNDP have to do with taxes and how we collect our taxes in our countries? Your duty is to oversee the global development in different countries and make sure that people are developing, and do your reports and whatever you do to check how people are developing in their countries. Development. Now you're sucking from us the little that we could have used to develop our countries. We have a bigger problem as Africa, and until we have leaders like Burkina Faso's Ibrahim Traore, I swear we will not get out of this forever being indebted. It's like another form of colonialism that will make you bow to any condition that they give you. If they say you need to introduce this kind of values, you have no other option because you owe them. Whatever they say, you need to remove this and this, your education system should be looking like this, you will do it because you have to comply or else you face sanctions. And knowing all our presidents, they are so scared of being sanctioned. Look at Russia. Russia was sanctioned, but look at where they are right now. Zimbabwe, on the other hand, face sanctions, still suffering, just because they cannot use their resources to develop themselves. You need a loan to build a road in Africa when you can sell gold and develop your own country. So you see how much we will forever be in trouble and not be able to save ourselves as we align ourselves with their conditions, with their strategies, and with their policies. These global policies, honestly, when you look at them, they are not here to favor us as Africans. They are just here to exploit us. They are just here to make sure that they force us to bend to their rules. I mean, tax inspectors without borders, audit businesses. These guys, TIWP, they come to our African countries and audit our businesses. What happened to sovereignty? Audit our small businesses. Like you audit, you see how money comes in. What happened to our local auditors and our, we have got a whole ministry of finance that is responsible for all of that. Why do we need an outside force to come and make sure that, no, you guys, this is just taking it too much and it's taking it too far because, come on. They make sure that our governments, our presidents take up a lot of debt and they are so much willing to give them whatever billions they ask for because they know where the catch is. So when you hear your president or your leader going to these banks, the IMFs and the World Banks, asking for loans, you hear them in billions, just know that you are the one who's going to pay. You are the one who is going to forcefully pay for that money. And unfortunately, we are not seeing where it's going to for most of our African countries. There's no development. There's nothing to say, oh, this is the 5 billion loan that was given by IMF the other day. It all just vanishes in their pockets and you don't see it anywhere. Nobody gets help, no infrastructure development, nothing. You are continued to be taxed and repaying loans that you can't even account for as a country, as a citizen. Brothers and sisters, let me know what you think about this. I'm just disappointed because when will Africa save itself? We already know all of these things. We know the truth, but we continue as the leaders to go to this bank, beg for loans, fail to pay them, get the conditions, get the policies, and now are forced to bend and sell our natural resources or give out our natural resources to them in form of payment. Hey, please support us by liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Or support us by buying our merchandise. We have the links in the description box down below. You can also support us by buying us coffee. Please buy us as much coffee as you can. Each goes for $5. We'll appreciate all your support us in the next one. Bye.